Tonight, Basil Zemplus's launch for Liberal Party pre-selection derailed by a hot mic comment caught on camera. A tree branch collapses on crowds taking in the Australia Day Sky Show in Kings Park. Thousands left without power after a fiery crash in our southeastern suburbs. The Prime Minister stands firm on his tax cut backflip, insisting it's the right thing to do. And your exclusive look inside the Olympic Village as we count down to Paris 2024.
This is 9 News Perth with Michael Genovese.
Good evening. Lord Mayor Basil Zemplus has made a rocky start in his bid for state politics in a hot mic moment caught on camera. The Liberal Party hopeful insisting his remarks were taken out of context, calling accusations he was referring to women's tennis flat out wrong.
It was a press conference to announce his intention to run as a Liberal in Churchlands. But Basil Zemplus has been forced to explain these comments.
Tennis is on tonight, isn't it? Yeah, the female final. Yes, it's a reserves game now. I say that having been there, obviously. Plenty of nights when I've read the... OK, all right.
The media personality this afternoon releasing a statement after a public pylon accusing him of degrading the Australian Open women's final. I then say, referring to reading the news against the broadcast, it's like the reserves then. Reading the news against the tennis was what I was referring to as being the reserves, not the tennis.
Jen, are you normally a Saturday man?
Reading the news tonight.
Oh, how about that, Joe? In the big chair. Is it head-to-head with...
Jerry's ready for 7.
Unbelievable. What a showdown. It's like a derby. Tennis is on tonight, isn't it?
9 News journalist Michael Genovese confirming he understood Mr Zemplus to be talking about the timing of the news bulletin, the controversy overshadowing the launch of his long-rumoured switch to state politics.
What I am announcing is my candidacy for pre-selection for the seat of Churchlands.
Basil's membership of the Liberal Party is only an asset.
Former Mayor of Vincent turned Labor Minister John Kerry today slamming his decision as selfish.
Now he's jumping ship for his own naked political ambition in a seat in the western suburbs. He has a choice. He could face me in the state seat of Perth if he was so committed to the residents here.
I will fight for what is right for my local area all of the time, just as I have done for Lord Mayor for the ratepayers.
No matter the outcome, punters in Churchlands and the Perth CBD want a fair deal.
I think it's an opportunity for both of them maybe to start down a different path with new people involved.
Well, I'd probably vote for anyone that is not Labor.
If pre-selected for the seat, Basil Zemplus will remain Perth Lord Mayor until the 2025 election is called. Then will seek a leave of absence during the campaign.
That would be my intention, to follow those protocols and that path which has already been trod.
Rachel Clifford, 9 News.
More than 100,000 people have witnessed a spectacular fireworks and drone show celebrating Australia Day in Perth. But the party was marred when 6 people were injured as a tree branch came crashing down at Kings Park.
Australia Day ending with a bang. Perth's time to shine and glow above the Swan River. 30-minute show leaving 120,000 people in all. While only 1 drone was lost this year, at Kings Park, trees were breaking. 6 people hit by a fallen branch, 2 taken to hospital for minor injuries.
It was unusual because, Kings Park is usually well maintained and out of all days, Australia Day it had to happen.
Botanic Gardens Park Authority saying incidents of this kind are rare in Kings Park and the overall risk to visitor safety is low. An investigation is underway. About a dozen local councils moving citizenship ceremonies from January 26th to today. The shift drawing crowds back to Mosman Park, welcoming 200 people.
Today we're right back up to the numbers that we'd expect for a citizenship ceremony, and we're reflecting our community's wishes to have it on a day other than the 26th.
It's special regardless.
The City of Wanneroo also welcoming dozens of new Australians.
Thank you for Australia for opening up the door for us and giving my family the opportunity to live in this great country.
As councils move away from Australia Day traditions, the Lord Mayor says the City Lights show above the Swan River will remain on January 26 unless the Prime Minister changes the date.
That's our national day. That's Australia Day. That's when we will mark it in the city of Perth.
A debate that's far from over. Michael Stamp, 9 News.
More than 3,000 homes in Perth's southeast were without power this afternoon after a car crashed into a power pole and burst into flames in Hilbert. These pictures were captured from the news helicopter moments after that fiery crash on Hilbert Road. Thick black smoke filling the sky as fireys continue to battle the blaze just metres from homes. It's believed the driver escaped unharmed. After being held in Guantanamo Bay for almost 2 decades, 2 Malaysian men have today been sentenced to 23 years in confinement for their involvement in the 2002 Bali bombings. Muhammad Farik bin Amin and Muhammad Nazir bin Lep both pleaded guilty to charges of war crimes last week. Their sentences won't be reduced for time served. However, under the terms of a secret pre-trial agreement, they could be freed by 2029. 202 people died in the attack, including 88 Australians. Idiots who tried to destroy Australia Day. That's what the New South Wales Premier is calling a group of far-right extremists. Tonight, Anthony Albanese has joined the condemnation too, saying the behaviour has no place in this country as calls grow for stronger laws to crack down on hate.
Marching with their banner of hate and our Australian flag.
It has no place, and it is rightly being condemned by all decent people.
If it wasn't so menacing, it would be completely ridiculous.
It brought a swift response from New South Wales Police. More than 60 far-right extremists stopped from hijacking Australia Day. Today, police and the nation's security service on alert for what is a growing threat. The masked man made it just 4 stops from Artarmon when police slowed the train, giving the riot squad time to intercept the group at North Sydney. Yesterday, they were exposed, forced to remove their face coverings, fined for offensive behaviour and ordered to stay away from the city and public events.
A lot of the organisers are interstate, effectively importing their hate into New South Wales.
Including neo-Nazi Thomas Sewell, who in 2021 attacked a Channel 9 security guard in Melbourne, flying in from Victoria, where the group last year managed to march on the steps of Parliament. Senior police knew for weeks that the group was planning an Australia Day protest, and they were ready. 6 men were arrested and brought here to Chatswood Police Station, where they were fined, then released. But the investigation isn't over.
I say to these people, quite frankly, have a good look at yourself. There is nothing to be got in this country through hatred.
Annalise Bolt, 9 News.
Taking a trip to the regional New South Wales town today, the Prime Minister was hoping to find a friendly audience for his tax cut backflip. Instead, he faced more questions, but tripled down on his controversial decision.
A firm press on the shovel moving turf, but doing little to help the Prime Minister dig himself out of a broken promise on tax cuts.
We have made the right decision for the right reasons.
3 days on from his press club announcement on a charm offensive in central west New South Wales as construction begins on a new conservatorium in Orange.
I love music, so I DJ. I haven't done it for a while. I used to do that for charities and for various things.
No beats today, instead forced to spin his amended tax agenda with a hard sell to the regions.
We want the fight against inflation to be front and centre, because the lower your income, the harder it hits you. And that's why inflation has had a disproportionate impact on regional Australia. And that's why this program is so important.
Sounding like a campaign speech, but denying his shifted gears after the opposition called for an early election.
This is a response to Australians being under financial pressure.
Sophie Upcroft, 9 News.
House prices in some of Perth's most expensive suburbs have recorded sharp falls, with some premium pockets dropping more than $200,000. The latest REWA data showing there are 15 suburbs that are now cheaper than 12 months ago. Upmarket Salter Point is leading the way, with the median price down more than 12.5%, now sitting at just over $1.4 million, followed closely by Ardross, whilst Guildford prices dropped more than 11%. Still to come this Saturday, an update on the King's condition post-surgery. Details on his special hospital visit. That's next. Why Donald Trump is being ordered to pay a New York writer more than $120 million. 50 marathons in 50 days. We're at the finish line as the fundraising journey comes to an emotional end. And your exclusive look inside the athletes' village in Paris with Olympic chef de mission Anna Mears. Overseas now, and a day after testifying in his own defence, Donald Trump has been ordered to pay more than $120 million to a woman he sexually abused and defamed. E. Jean Carroll branded the day a victory for women, saying it's a huge defeat for every bully who has tried to keep a woman down. Meanwhile, the former president left the court before the verdict could be read out, blasting the jury and vowing to appeal. The United Nations top court has ruled Israel must take immediate action to prevent genocide in Gaza, including punishing incitement and improving aid. The International Court of Justice dismissed Israel's push to have the case thrown out, but stopped short of ordering a ceasefire. A verdict is yet to be delivered on whether Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. King Charles is doing well as he recovers from prostate surgery. The monarch arrived with Queen Camilla at the same London clinic where the Princess of Wales is also recovering from surgery. The King broke protocol to pay her a visit before his own treatment. 14,000 athletes will head to Paris for the Olympics, and their home away from home is almost ready. As Nine's Edward Godfrey discovered, sporting stars will get all the creature comforts as they prepare to chase gold.
A sneak peek inside the home of the 2024 Games. In Saint-Denis, on the outskirts of Paris, there's a race on to finish the athletes' village.
This is a city within a city, so we have to provide athletes with all the amenities, everything that they need during the Games.
Paris 2024 organisers say it would normally take 15 years to construct something this big. It'll be done in under 5. 40 new buildings, 3,000 apartments, each with multiple rooms, spanning 300,000 square metres. From July, it'll house 14,000 athletes. Our chef de mission, Anna Mears, inspecting the site, along with Australian representatives for each sport.
Very positive. Good quality, good to be able to see it early ahead of the Games time so that they can provide feedback back to the sports and athletes as well.
It's accessible, eco-focused and naturally cooled, although the Aussie team has specifically requested air conditioning. There will be 9,000 trees and even outdoor air purifiers. Recycled materials keep the cost of the village down, around 3.3 billion Australian dollars. It has the necessities and some luxuries.
There'll be a bank, a post, there'll be a merchandise store, a grocery store, an hair salon also, and a big screen also, so they can look at the games here together.
Everything here has been built quite close together so that the athletes don't have too far to walk anywhere. But they'll also have access to shuttles and chauffeured golf carts to help them get around the village. The apartments will eventually be sold and rented for private use, but not before they've been called home by current and future champions.
Very happy to host Australian athletes here in the village and to live the game with them.
In Paris, Edward Godfrey, 9 News.
A whole lot of running with a whole lot of heart. Aussie teacher Tom Price crossed the finish line in Melbourne this morning, conquering 50 marathons in 50 days and raising $100,000 for babies needing neonatal intensive care. The inspiration behind the feat, his niece Sylvie, by his side for the emotional finale.
It's not about me, it's about these babies, about these family members and about these nurses and doctors in the NICU.
50 in 50 days, an unbelievable effort. Paddy Sweeney joins us now for a look at sport. Paddy, history at the Australian Open.
That's right, Jenna. Aryna Sabalenka becoming the first woman in a decade to successfully defend her title. Aryna's ace, the perfect tournament, producing a second serving of silverware. And the second test and a summer sweep within Australia's grasp at the Gabba.
9 News, brought to you by Australia's #1 selling vehicle, Ford Ranger.
Aryna Sabalenka has successfully defended her Australian Open women's crown with a powerful straight sets victory. China's Qingwen Zheng no match for the world #2, who didn't drop a set all tournament.
A moment of history, Aryna Sabalenka perfect, going back to back.
Sabalenka defends the title.
Couldn't imagine myself lifting this trophy one more time, and it's unbelievable feeling right now, and I'm really speechless.
The world #2, no stranger to the spotlight.
There's the early break.
Early nerves getting the better of the 21-year-old.
Wow.
The 12th seed finding composure.
Jung on the board.
But the Belarusian wouldn't back down easy.
Kaboom.
Flying through to claim the first set in just over 30 minutes.
The defending champion serving up a dominant first set.
In her first final, Jung showing moments of brilliance.
Nicely done. I like the change-up of that serve.
Picking up momentum as a heckling spectator briefly held play.
Well, there's just been a disturbance up actually behind the umpire.
But it would only delay the inevitable. Sabalenka, the first woman since compatriot Victoria Azarenka a decade ago to defend her title. Daniil Medvedev back on court, albeit practice, following a miracle semi-final win over Alexander Zverev. Coming from 2 sets down, booking a shot at glory against Yannick Sinner.
Mentally 100%. I'm stronger than I was before this tournament because now I know that I'm capable of some things maybe I thought I'm not.
Alexia Pesce, 9 News.
Australia's quest for a summer clean sweep has hit an early hurdle. Usman Khawaja dismissed cheaply against the West Indies. The opener falling for 10, the host chasing 216 to win the second test. And late on day 3, Australia are 1 for 34. The West Indies intent on building on their 35-run lead.
Oh, divine.
Mackenzie and Brathwaite adding 50 before Cam Green struck.
The drive can be your friend. You get it wrong, it's your worst enemy.
The introduction of spin reaping rewards before a reprieve for Hodge.
There it is! Don't tell me it went down.
Smith unable to stick the catch. The visitors 3 for 106 at the break. At the resumption, the veteran's safe hands would return.
Taken! Good catch!
Hodge, his own worst enemy at the crease. That pain only amplified 4 balls later.
That's a sharp bit of work from Travis Head.
A cool head prevailing, Hodge caught with his bat in the air. Green taking to the skies to remove De Silva.
And Green's got it on his second chance.
The lead 214 before the innings closed.
Oh, right on the front of the toe.
Shamar Joseph retiring hurt. And Australia's women winning their opening T20 against South Africa, chasing 148, Beth Mooney 72, securing victory. And the Socceroos are confident of finding another gear in tomorrow night's Asian Cup knockout clash with Indonesia. Striker Martin Boyle promising to go on the attack with a spot in the quarterfinals up for grabs.
Definitely think we have another gear to step up. I feel like we are dominating the games, we are keeping control of the ball, and we are creating a lot of chances. I think we just need to be a bit more ruthless.
Overseas, Ange Postecoglou's Spurs have been knocked out of the FA Cup after Manchester City scored an 88th minute winner. And Jenna, that's all in sport. Well done to Aryna Sabalenka and looking forward to tomorrow night. Yannick Sinner and Daniil Medvedev in the men's final.
Should be an exciting match. Paddy Sweeney, thank you. Stay with us. Kelly Haywood will have your 7-day weather forecast right after the break.
Welcome back. Well, I hope you're enjoying this glorious weather we've been treated to this long weekend. We hit a top of 34 degrees this afternoon, warming from our overnight low of 17. And right now here in the city, it is 27.4 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite, showers and thunderstorms are on the way for the northern Kimberley and interior tomorrow. Clear skies over Perth, and we've got some light showers southwest of Busselton. Around the rest of the country tomorrow, we are looking looking at cloudy conditions for the most part. 28 at the top in Adelaide. Melbourne and Hobart will hit just 24, and a shower or two for those in Sydney. Storms and up to 30 millimetres expected in Brisbane, and storms in Darwin too. Here's what Sunday will look like in your suburb. 27 degrees from Joondalup to Fremantle, and in Kalamunda through to Mandurah, a lovely top of 28. Now here in Perth, we will have a bit of cloud about in the morning, clearing by the afternoon, making way for a top of 28 degrees. Then Monday we are looking at 29. Tuesday that mercury will jump right up to 37. Wednesday, for the first day of the school year, a scorcher, 39 degrees. It will start to cool from there as the week moves on. But Jenna, don't worry, that hot weather won't stick around for too long.
Time now to take a look at Perth's property market. Sales activity increased significantly over the week, while total listings for sale also increased. Nine's Property Watch shows 3,864 properties are up on the market, while Reward.com data shows 830 are under offer or have been sold. Our top selling suburbs, Baldivis, South Perth, Perth and Como. At the top end of the market, this 3x1 open plan unit in Doubleview has easy access to Scarborough Beach, selling this week for $745,000. In Byford for $600,000, this large 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom modern family home. The backyard perfect for entertaining, complete with a fire pit. And at the lower end of the market, this ground floor 1-bed unit in Como with a large entertainer's courtyard, selling this week for $385,000. And that's 9 News this Saturday. I'm Michael Genovese. Thanks for your company. Enjoy your evening. Good night.